Okay, I've kind of got an if or type thing.
Okay.
So the question is, if you could pick up a new skill in an instant, but you had to lose one of the skills you currently have, would you do it? And which skills would you swap? It's a tough one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different...
So really, I want to answer the question.
Yeah.
I don't think I would lose any skills because within the past year or so, I have gained several skills that I've really always wanted to have.
That's true. What are those skills?
Knitting and crochet.
Yeah, exactly. I knew it. I just wanted you to tell the
I'm a grandma. The things I like to do are arts and crafts, reading, and baking.
Yeah.
I am who I am, right?
Well, you've been like that your whole life.
Yeah. You know what? I guess if there was a skill that I could pick up, I've never really been able to sew my own clothes or alter clothes. You know, like when things don't fit well, able to alter them.
Oh. See, okay, for me, all of this is the same.
No.
But it's a different thing.
Very
Knitting
different.
is different than sewing is different than... Don't laugh at me. Do not laugh at me.
Yes,
I don't know.
They're very different. They're very, very different. Okay. I don't know how to use a sewing machine.
Okay.
I can sew like embroidery, decorative embroidery by hand. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to like, I have a skirt that doesn't fit, I have to take it to somebody and pay them to make it fit me. I would like to be able to do that.
That's a big misconception because I was like, oh yeah, surely you could do that.
Here's the thing. Could I learn how to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could.
It's a similar vein, but it is not like the skills are not one-to-one.
Not one-to-one transferable. Not really. No.
Close.
Right. Well, because when you're knitting or crocheting a garment, you're like creating it in like 3D. With sewing, it's you have flat fabric, you have to cut out pieces and then sew them together.
Yeah, I don't think I could do any of that.
You could.
So what are you getting rid of then?
See, that's the thing that I don't know because I really like all of the skills that I have.
This is the thing.
I'm not very good at computers anyway, so I guess I could just start from scratch there.
So you're going to get rid of like what specific thing? The ability to type? Are you going to relearn that?
I'm pretty good at it, so I think I could relearn it pretty quickly.
This is the thing this is such
like, is it something that I would lose forever no matter how hard I tried?
You're gone. It's
done. Well, you need to know how to type in
You are incredibly proficient at the new, like I'm talking top of the top, best in your class at the new skill, but you completely lose another skill and with no recourse.
Any skill?
Within reason, yeah. I mean,
writing cursive because nobody does that anyway.
See, but there's a loophole.
I didn't say reading cursive. I said writing cursive.
You found a loophole in the system. Yeah,
nobody needs to write it. That. I like to be able to read it so that I can be pen pals with my grandmas. But I don't need to be able to write in cursive. So I would trade that for being able to be a master seamstress.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you found a flaw in the question. Yes. Good job.
But really, I'm happy with the skills that I have, and maybe I'll probably learn how to sew at some point.
I think so. It's just a logical course of action for you.
Yeah. I'll probably do it by hand though, if I'm being honest with myself.
I came up with this question. I didn't find it. Yeah.
It's a good one.
Because I was thinking about skill acquisition.
Yeah.
And this idea of like immediately getting a new skill without having to go through any of the pain of learning it, I feel like kind of cheapens the experience for me.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I don't think that I would lose any of the skills that I currently have. I mean, yes, cursive makes a lot of sense. So if it was a skill that, the spirit of the question was something that you use kind of on a daily basis,
right? Or
something kind of important to your life, right? And I think not only the skills, but the memories of learning the skills or like the growth that you like. I think about chess all the time.
Yeah.
And I go in and out with chess a lot. I haven't played pretty much at all this year. I've just been consumed with other stuff. Basically, I've been trying to get my business and my YouTube channel off the ground, and that has basically taken up all of my free time.
Yeah.
But last year, around like, I don't know, post competition, October, November, we had a lot of conversations about, oh, I don't have any hobbies. I was bored all the time. I had lost a little bit of interest in the gym. So I was picking up all of these random things, and chess was one of those things. And I'm not good at chess by any means, but I had gotten to a point where I knew what was going on.
Right.
I could make strategic moves. I wasn't just moving the pieces.
Right. Like that's what I do is I just say, yeah, this one would be all right over here.
I had a grand structure. I was like, I like to play these openings, that type of stuff. So
Yeah.
I was getting to low intermediate skill.
You were like a confident beginner.
I would say mildly
Plus.
confident beginner.
I would put you as a confident beginner.
My ELO was like, I don't know, 930
Okay.
rapid, which is not great, but it's not terrible.
It's not a total beginner.
And I didn't really play that much. I more enjoyed, like I was talking about, I more enjoyed the acquisition of like, this is how people think through the game. These are openings. These are end game patterns. I really like that, but I never had the drive to like combine all of those things and go to a game. I don't know why. I was just like, oh, I really, I would stop listening to openings after like 15 moves. Why am I talking about this? Oh, skill acquisition. Jeez,
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Well, and I think it's really fun as you're learning something new to like run into a problem and figure it out.
Yeah.
That's something that I love, especially with my crafts, is
Yeah.
like if you notice a mistake 5 rows ago, it's a real pain in the butt to have to
try and
undo
fix that.
all of that
Yeah.
to go. So it's like, is there a way that I can fix this without backtracking,
Yeah.
but finding a creative solution?
Yeah.
I love doing that.
I think that's kind of why we were made this way. Like, we don't just read something and immediately get it. Like, learning is such a fruitful endeavor. And the unfortunate thing is, I think when you come out of high school, especially in America, I can only speak to my experience, but you come out of high school and you're so tired of learning.
Like rote memorization.
Exactly.
It's like the question on the test is like just the same question from the homework, but different numbers.
Yeah.
Like it's not, you don't have to stretch your mind to apply the principle to
Absolutely.
the question.
And that's such a disservice. I don't have the answer to how to fix that. I mean, clearly there's something wrong with our education system. Everybody knows there's something wrong, but I don't think anybody has the thing that will fix it, because it's a two-way street. Like as someone who's trying to learn something, you have to have that initial spark of engagement to the topic. And I think the issue in a lot of American schools is like, we're going to teach you broad, surface level topics. I did not care about algebra or biology. I was never interested in science. I was never interested in math. And so it was always like pulling teeth to get me to do these things. Whereas with history or even English to a certain degree, with a lot of books, it was like, I'm interested in this. I want to know more about the process of this, and that then drives you forward. I think the one thing that the British system has over us is more of a classification earlier on.
They specialize earlier.
And again, that's kind of dangerous. There is some danger in that because you want to be broad-minded, but there is also some freedom in, an inch wide and a mile deep rather than a mile wide and an inch deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I think that you only have so much space for so many things in your brain. And so this idea of like, you got to learn all of this to a certain degree so you can graduate. Meh.
Yeah. Well, and I think you get a lot more buy-in from notoriously difficult to please teenagers if you honor their preferences to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to know how to do basic math for life.
Right.
Just getting through the day. You do need to do a little bit of math.
Yeah.
You do need to know how to read.
But
does everybody need to do like a trigonometry class?
No.
Probably not.
no.
And that just breeds, I think, again, with 14-year-olds, some resentment, some like pushback.
Not even that, but also like 18
disinterest.
Like going,
Yeah.
you know me.
Yeah.
I am not a huge fan of the college system in this country. I think that a lot of people are forced into college that really shouldn't be in college or would have better prospects doing a trade, getting a 2-year degree rather than a 4-year degree.
In something that they're actually interested in doing.
But we just kind of throw up our hands collectively and like, just go to college.
And
Everything will sort itself out.
And do a general liberal arts something.
Let me tell you.
It's not always the best decision.
It's
often not the best decision.
I wonder if it's because we've devalued a lot of these jobs where you work with your hands. The Industrial Revolution and just through no fault of our own, but like culture kind of breeds this respect towards intellectuals. Mm-hmm. And we've lost this respect towards like your plumber or your electrician.
Which is so stupid.
When in actuality, who am I calling? Who I'm not calling the damn economics professor.
Right.
I'm calling the plumber to fix
Right. Well, and honestly, like there's so much beauty in craftsmanship.
I'm learning that as well. Yeah.
Incredible. My parents just had some work done on their porch.
Yeah.
And I was home. We were home for the holidays while it was being worked on. And I was just mesmerized by the vision that these guys had.
Yeah.
Like, cause I don't know, my mom and I, we know we like something when we look at it, but we both have a really hard time with like a vision and getting that to come to life. And so, a lot of it, these guys were like, you know what, let's try this. Let's do this. I think this will look really good. And they were so right.
Yeah.
And it was incredible. And without their incredible skill and expertise and, like I said, craftsmanship, I mean, I can't imagine where we would be. It's really beautiful.
I just feel like, and I'm a little biased. I hated school. Mm-hmm. I look back at school and I have bad memories. I liked being in the college environment, but everything that I learned in college,
you haven't used.
I have not used. And everybody says that, right? But I think that there needs to be more of an option for people. And even still, if that option was presented to me, I probably still would have chosen college. Because at the end of the day, like I can look back as an almost 30-year-old and who has reignited his passion for learning in different things and put myself back in the 19-year-old shoes and say, if you had been offered, let's just say like a carpenter apprenticeship or something, you probably still would have experienced the same level of dissatisfaction with that because you as a person were not ready for it yet. I guess what I'm saying is like, how do we expect 18-year-olds whose brains are not fully formed to come to these conclusions that are going to have monumental effect on the rest of their lives?
Yeah. But I think we also need to normalize changing careers.
Yeah. That's a good point
because, you can't live with your parents and rely on your parents until your brain is fully developed at 26. That's crazy.
You're right.
You do have to move out and kind of find your way.
Yeah.
And I feel like 18, we've decided, is a decent time to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong. In fact, I think so many people, I think probably most people change careers now because you at 18 and you at 37 are different people.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with getting an extra certification down the line and pivoting a little bit. We've talked about a lot. I've just pivoted a little bit. Me too. Everybody has.
But that comes back to the issue of learning. That comes back to the issue of learning. You get comfortable in a certain job, and this idea of learning a new skill or doing another certification sounds so much like high school, which we all hated. I don't know. If you loved high school, cool, that's fine. I think the majority of people did not love school.
Yeah. And
so you're then kind of put off to that idea of like, I'm going to continue my education because we think of education as rote memorization. I'm just going to learn that, when in actuality, you could really like, I love to learn about fitness.
Yeah.
Because I love the application of that. But I remember I took a health and fitness class in college that I absolutely despised. Right? So what is the disconnect there?
Yeah. But I'm thinking professionally, it's, usually professional pivots are not huge. Right?
True. Yeah.
So it's you're a health and fitness coach, you're a personal trainer, you've done a lot of education and you love learning new specific information in that topic. Let's say 15 years from now, you're like, I would like to shake it up a little bit, which you might not, but it would not be a huge pivot to take some interesting classes about ergonomics.
Yeah, okay.
And to become a certified ergonomics person.
Right.
Right? I know an OT who's doing that. She was an OT and then she was a case reviewer.
Yeah.
And then she now has an ergonomics business. All of these things are small pivots.
Yeah, right.
They all, used that OT degree that she got and didn't want to use in the classical application of it anymore, which is treating patients.
Yeah.
But to make small pivots based on her life, the age of her kids, what she's interested in now.
Yeah.
And that's not a huge thing. It's a couple small classes. It's not like going back to high school to get this new certification.
Yeah.
It's just some specific continuing ed that you have to do continuing ed anyway.
I guess I'm speaking from my own experience in which I made a 180 pivot and had to relearn everything career-wise.
And I think that's a little bit more rare than what most people do.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, right.
And it's been a great move for you.
Yeah.
But I would say probably a little bit more unusual.
So for me, it was daunting to be like, I got to do a whole new school. I got to do a whole, certification or whatever.
Start from scratch. I have nothing that I need.
And the fitness certification is very easy. I'll tell you that right now. You could get a personal training certification in about 2 weeks. It's not difficult. It
was a lot harder than when you briefly became an ordained minister, though.
Oh, yeah. You can be ordained in an hour. I don't even remember what the church. I got a 3-year anniversary.
You did?
2-year anniversary email.
Because you did it to be at the wedding.
I got ordained to do part of the ceremony for my sister and my brother.
You're not a preacher.
I'm not actively preaching, but I got ordained because, I don't know, they thought that I was going to be I ended up not even needing it because they had another
There was an
minister
actual pastor.
And he signed all the papers anyway. I don't know why I got ordained.
Because it was a fun novelty. I don't know.
There you go. Yeah. I don't remember what church I got ordained in, but you can do that if you want to online. Yeah. If you want to marry some friends together.
Very easy.
Very easy.
Very cheap.
I mean.
So the skill that you'd like to improve or get better at is chess? Is that where we started with this?
No, I don't think so. Like, I would not do this. I would not do this because I think the value in learning a skill is the process of learning a skill.
The journey.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Well, learning for me, my new favorite skills of knitting and crochet. Yeah. I wouldn't trade the times when I was little when my grandma tried to teach me and I wasn't ready. I wouldn't trade the times that I spent with the lady who did, teach me how. I wouldn't trade the times I've spent with my sister as she's taught me how to knit when I didn't know how. It's been really fun times and I wouldn't trade it. I guess
as I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize you've got to find stuff that actually fills up the day. I think the reason that I was so bored last year was what do people do? You know what I mean? And then you just kind of break it down. It's you do stuff.
You just kind of piddle around
right.
and, do this and then a little bit of that.
I'm very fortunate that my job is remote and my in-person job is part-time.
And very close to where we live.
And very close, so I don't lose a lot of time commuting. I don't lose a lot of time in an office. That is incredibly fortunate. Mm-hmm. But there was that moment of if work's not taking up 10 hours of my day, what am I supposed to be doing?
Right.
And I was very fortunate to have some hobbies that I liked, that I kind of utilized for a little bit, and then have my passion kind of reignited for education on YouTube with fitness and stuff. And then, I'm able to use a lot of the stuff I learned in grad school, in film school. Mm-hmm. So that,
Yeah, you are.
Again, I am working through kind of some resentment towards going to film school. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm kind of out on the other side of that.
I think you are for the most part.
But I was very much I'm completely out of the business. I'm never going to use this again. I use a lot of the stuff I learned in the YouTube videos that I make, in the content that I make. Mm-hmm. So you just never know, right?
Right.
I don't know.
Life is a very long journey with lots of twists and turns.
Yeah.
Nobody's life is a straight line.
True. I got to be honest with you guys. Our air conditioning is broken again, and I am not in the best of moods.
You're frustrated.
I don't know if you can tell. I'm really trying not to be frustrated.
Yeah, I think you're doing a good job.
Because at the end of the day, like I always talk about, I want my life to be one of thankfulness, first and foremost. And of course, I'm thankful that we have a house. There are so many people that don't. Mm-hmm. If my biggest struggle today is the fact that the air conditioning doesn't work, I mean, come on, man. You
have a lot to be thankful for anyway.
So, but at the same time, it is frustrating.
It's okay to be upset about it.
I think that's my next iteration of growth is a middle between that. Because I'm the type of person that it's okay, if I'm going to lead my life through thankfulness, then nothing matters. I get to a point where like I shouldn't have emotions. I shouldn't ever have negative emotions. You know what I mean?
And that's so silly.
Right. But that's just me, man.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for this life. And in that thankfulness, I should never be frustrated. I should never be sad. I should never be mad.
You can feel two ways at once.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe you can.
You can't?
I can, I guess. That's what I'm learning of myself.
Maybe this is like the difference between men and women.
Maybe. I don't know. Talk to me, folks.
I probably feel three ways at any given time.
I think that I can. I am feeling that way right now.
Yeah.
But I have to like actively make myself do that. Like it doesn't just happen. Emotions for me are very strange.
You're not a very emotion forward person a lot of the time.
I play a character on TV in which I am a very emotion forward person. Like when we do these podcasts and I go on my rants and stuff like that, I try and be, but no, like in my day-to-day life, I'm pretty, I'm just even.
I think lately though, you've been getting more in touch with your emotional
Oh yeah,
side.
I'm crying all the time now. Yeah. Just to, like, I looked at a tree and it was like, wow.
It's so beautiful.
I think with age, you know, you get more emotional. We talk about having kids and that makes me feel emotional. And it's like just these bigger life things. I mean, when you're 20, especially as a guy, there's nothing in your life to make you emotional. It's like, I'm waking up at 1 or 2 p.m. today. Oh no, I'm going to cry. I woke up too late. No, it's like, dude, who cares? But when things start to become real, you know, because real is different for whoever. But for me, this concept of having a kid really puts a lot of stuff in perspective.
It's a big thing.
And so that's, you know, dredging up a lot of emotion about like, oh, will I be a good dad? Well, you know, what will the world look like that this child has to grow up in? Like,
yeah, I feel that too.
There's a lot of stuff.
Will I be a good dad? I don't know.
You definitely will.
Yeah,
you're going to be number one dad.
Number one dad.
All right, let's get this fitness podcast back on track.
All right.
I just wanted to talk about, I've seen a lot of stuff. Working out seems to be, there's a lot of questions about like, well, can I work out at home? Is it going to be enough? Like there's this, I love being in the gym, but I want to put everyone's mind at ease. Any application of resistance training and progressive overload is working out. Any application of that. That could be you pick up a half full water jug 1 week and do 10 bicep curls with it. And then you fill the water jug up more all the way and you do 10. That is working out.
I exclusively work out at home.
So I wanted to talk to you about like, you are the champion of working out at home.
I love to be the best. What can I say?
I just think I want to always come from a place where my biases are always, I would love to get you in the gym. I would love to be coaching you on the power lifts.
Right. I don't want that.
That's not everybody's focus.
I think some things that you need to know if you're going to work out at home. Are you going to be the world's next greatest weightlifter? No.
Oh, that's a great point.
Are you going to have a hard time targeting certain muscles with at-home equipment? Definitely.
Yes.
I have probably never targeted my hamstrings.
Yeah, that's the bigger one.
That's really the one.
I mean, you do Romanian deadlifts.
Yes. So there's some things I can do, but like to do like a really specific, that's a lot harder.
What's funny is even in the gym, it's kind of hard to target the hamstrings. There's not a lot of movements.
Right.
I mean, what's the difference?
I do leg curls.
You do the leg curls with the
ankle
bands.
weights.
What do you think I do for hamstrings?
I don't know.
Romanian deadlifts, leg curls.
Well, there you go.
Single leg curls. You know, like the movement pattern can be the same.
Right.
But the application of that movement pattern changes.
Right. Sometimes working out at home, you do have to get a little bit creative.
Right.
You do have to purchase some equipment. Now, you are not purchasing a gym membership. Right. Probably, if you're like me.
How much did it cost us to get your bands?
You've bought out. So I have the bands.
$40
so
for the band
bands
set.
are $40. We have the kettlebell.
I think that was like $20-$25.
Okay. The ankle weights.
Again, $15 to $20.
And then I have the 3-pound free weights.
That was
$10.
10.
Yeah.
So $100.
Yeah.
One time.
Right.
There are gyms that cost $100 a month.
Right. Well, and I've thought about getting like like as a Christmas gift, like a set of adjustable dumbbells.
Yeah, right.
Because those are a little bit more expensive. Those are more like $400, honestly.
I mean, the ones that I would want to get are $700. But
right now the heaviest,
they last forever.
Right, and the heaviest thing that I have right now is the 15-pound kettlebell.
Yeah.
And there gets a point. One time, I was doing Romanian deadlifts. I'm like, I've been doing this with the 15-pound kettlebell for
years,
2 years.
Yeah.
So I looped the ankle weights around the kettlebell to make it 25 pounds.
Well, that's great.
And hey, it increased the stimulus, and that was what I needed.
Right.
But it was a little bit of a MacGyver situation. It worked fine.
This is what when I have a client call and they say, hey, I'm really not in a place where either they don't have a gym close to them, they don't want to buy a gym membership, whatever it is. They say, is there a way that we can do your style of programming at home? And the first thing I tell them is yes.
What's your budget?
And you need to get a little creative. We're going to have to get, both of us together are going to have to get a little bit creative.
Right.
So if your goals are, I want to be relatively fit, I want to build some muscle mass into my late, age and retain muscle mass, I think you can absolutely work out from home.
Yeah, if you want to just be like casually fit, yeah, you can totally do it from home.
It becomes more difficult the more specialized you get, but that's everything in the gym. Like, think about me. As I moved to more specialized powerlifting,
You changed gyms.
I changed gyms.
Yeah.
So you have to, like, this idea of like, oh, I'm going to go to the highest end gym from the outset. You don't have to.
Yeah. Well, like, I think someone even asked you recently, it's like, I really want to start working out. Is it terrible if I go to Planet Fitness?
Right.
Because Planet Fitness, for some reason, has like this
has a bad
reputation
rap.
of, yeah.
They did the lunk alarm stuff. And
yeah, but it's like, if you just want to run on the treadmill and like lift some weights here and there,
it's a
Planet
great
Fitness
gym.
is perfect. It's so cheap.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
And then if if it ever, becomes where what they have is not enough for you,
Then
cancel
you
your
move on.
membership
Yeah.
and go somewhere else.
Right.
It's not a lifetime commitment.
Yeah.
But I think one of the nice things about working out at home is, you don't have to drive to the gym.
Right.
You don't have to, look hot in your gym clothes. You can wear
Well, there's a
whatever.
there's a lot of pressure on people when they get to a specific place, for better or worse, right? But I will never fall into this category, but like people are getting made up and they're doing all the, people are looking at the gym as a place to pick up a potential partner. Like, that's a lot of pressure,
right,
for someone to go into a gym when your only goal is, 3 days a week, you want to do a little resistance training. Like, that can be done at home.
Easily do that at home. And like, I was listing off the equipment. We have the bands, we have some weights and whatever. You could do it with just the bands,
Oh yeah.
I do bicep
curls. You could do
curls
everything you wanted to with
the
just the
kettlebell
bands.
or the weights or the shoulder. You could do those same, arm exercises, leg, core, whatever, just with a set of 5 resistance bands for $25 off of Amazon. I mean, it's not.
I've built full.
It's not rocket science.
I have built full at-home resistance band only training sessions. I've done that. It's.
I have them.
So, I think the reason I wanted to talk about this is that's one of the major areas of resistance that I think a lot of people have.
Like, they don't want to work out because they don't want to go to the gym.
People know, at the end of the day, people know that you're supposed to work out. From whatever spectrum, they know this. We know this. We as fitness people, general physicians, doctors, everyone has done a good job saying you need to work out.
Like, this is important, guys. We need to make this happen.
But then a lot of the times, we just kind of throw up our hands and say, figure it out yourself.
Right. It's like, oh, but I don't have the time to drive all the way to the gym and back. I don't have,
Excuses start to pile up.
Yeah.
Valid excuses.
Yeah.
Valid excuses.
I don't have time to drive.
A mom
to
of
the
4 is not going to the gym for an hour. Is not going to the gym for 20 minutes. Right? You
go outside and play with your kids, or throw your kids in the air.
Right. I think
free equipment.
I think I have been really trying to focus on what is causing people not to put these practices into place. I always am trying to. What is it? Because for me,
what is the barrier?
For me, it is always going to be a part of my life. I love it. I will sacrifice other things in order to go to the gym. Whereas a lot of people will make every concession not to go to the gym. So I am always trying to determine how can I make this the barrier to entry as low as possible. Because I want you at the end of the day to gain the benefits that we know exist from resistance training specifically. That's my, some people may say cardio, whatever. Cardio is very important.
It's all good for you.
My expertise and my focus is resistance training, muscle building, for whatever reason. So I'm always trying to get that as easy as possible for the person sitting in front of me. And then hopefully, after a couple months, you start to feel the changes and say, okay, I think this has run its course. Where can I make some movement in my schedule to maybe get a little bit more serious? That's not to say that you have to do that.
Right.
But a lot of the times you start to realize, okay, there's space here, there's space there. It becomes more impactful for you to make changes in your schedule, to then maybe get into the gym, to join a fitness class, all these things, right? But that first initial move towards the fitness goal has to be incredibly easy.
Starting anything new is always the hardest part.
I think so.
That's when it's the most overwhelming.
I think there's two moments for me when you start something new, is that initial start. And then about 6 months in, when you reach that level of the newbie gains are gone, and you reach that what feels like your cap, those are the two moments where you have to really allow yourself to make a change that's very, very easy. Because if you don't, you're gonna
fall off.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can see it. I see it with my clients. They've decided to make a change. They're really gung ho. They've gotten over the first hurdle. They've joined up with me. Cool. Set your watch by like 3 to 6 months. Oh, well, I'm not really experiencing the XYZ. This is getting really hard, and some things are coming up in my life, and everything's going to start to pile on. Then it's on me to be like, okay, well, let's pull back. Let's do 2 days a week. Let's put this on pause for a little bit.
Right. Don't lose all of the momentum, but what do we need to do to make this a little bit easier right now?
And then once you start to realize, okay, I could still experience change even with lower impact, you can kick it back up. Right? I don't know. That's
yeah.
I just want it to be very easy for people to start.
Yeah. And I'm a huge fan of working out from home. I mean, I've seen some really nice improvements working out at home.
You absolutely have.
I am not the strongest person in the world.
But you don't have to be.
I don't want to be the strongest person in the world. But I've definitely seen some changes in the way that I look, in the way that I feel.
Yeah.
And I've never stepped foot in a gym.
No, and
in my entire
do you think
life.
you ever will? I mean, never say never, but it doesn't look like
Probably
it.
not.
I might build a home gym, and then in that case,
yeah. But I mean, we are getting to a point where we're thinking about starting a family. So
right.
like, the point in life where we are, like we're busy for the next probably 20 years, it's really only going to get busier.
Yeah, right.
So I don't
if
really
things work out to our plan,
Right. So I don't really see myself getting into a gym anytime soon, and I'm not worried about that. I know that I can be fit at home.
Yeah.
I've built a lot of walking into my day at
Daily
work.
Life. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
I've got what works for me. And that's the most important thing, is you have to do what works for you. If it's like a square peg, round hole type of situation,
it's never going to work.
It's never going to stick.
Yeah.
And then when you get to that hard point, you're like, well, I never liked this anyway.
I'm done. Yeah.
So I'm not like, I tried, I hate it, I'm not doing it. You got to find a way to make it work for you.
Yeah. I had another question here, but we'll skip that one for today.
Okay. Save it for next week.
Well, we can do another relationship question if you want to.
I would love to.
So some of our friends are moving in together.
Yeah. Do you want me to read her?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Let's see.
Shout out to you folks. We'll keep everything anonymous, obviously, but I think it's about moving in together and stuff.
Yeah. So what advice does everyone have about how to deal with having 2 of everything when moving in with a partner? Dining table, big TVs, record players, everything.
Man.
It's tempting to just want to rent a storage unit for all the double items. But how did y'all decide who has to sell their item if there were 2? Because sometimes it's not like one item is bad and one's in better shape. It's just we both prefer our own stuff because it was a gift, or we bought it ourselves because we really liked it.
I didn't think about preference.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be good at answering this question. I have always just wanted to throw everything away. I'm not like when you want to talk about the least sentimental human being on the face of this earth, that is your boy. I
Yeah.
don't care about anything. Literally. It could be given to me by my grandfather who is no longer with us. I will always have that memory. The item does not carry the memory with it. So I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. I get that.
Take it or leave it. You, on the other hand, are
Bit
very
of a pack rat.
sentimental.
I'm
right?
very sentimental.
And you hold on to a lot of stuff.
I do. I'm trying to get better about that.
Yeah. I don't think either way is wrong. Again, this is our personality.
Well, and we also got married right after college, so we didn't have anything.
That I was going to say we again, maybe not the best people to talk to
so
because
like,
we never lived life outside of being together.
Yeah. Well, and like when we got married, you had a couch and I had a couch, both of which had previously belonged to our parents.
Yes.
We didn't pick them out ourselves or like
true.
really love them. So like we did decide to sell the hand-me-down couch that I had.
I don't even remember that.
It was the green couch.
I don't even remember it.
You don't remember it?
No.
That's the couch we sat on when we first started dating.
This is what I'm saying. I have no recollection.
But it was a really comfortable couch with like a cloth green.
I think I vaguely remember.
If I showed you a picture, you would absolutely remember it. But we decided to keep the couches you had because they were a more neutral color.
Yeah.
And I guess we figured we'd be able to keep them forever. And hey, 10 years later,
we still have them.
Here we are with
They're
the same
still sitting
couch.
right over there. Man.
But yeah, we had a couple of things, duplicates.
I think the other thing for us is
but
like,
it wasn't anything we were like strongly attached to because we didn't pick any of it out for ourselves.
We're both decently cheap human beings.
Yeah.
And it's like
we're big savers.
What's going to last us the longest, I think, is the thing that really made us make the choice to get rid of or to keep.
There were some things that each of us had that the other one was like, I love you with all my heart and I really hate this item that you have. Can you please
Let's
get
be
rid
completely
of it?
honest here. There were a lot of things that I had that you said to me, I love you. You're never... This is going away.
We got to get rid of it.
I did not have a single... What am I going to tell you?
I mean, I don't know.
Name one. If you can name one, I'll
like
take
all
it.
my throw pillows you hate.
If I could turn the camera around, you'd see 90 throw pillows sitting over there. Have I told you to get rid of them? I hate them, yes, but they're still here.
I replaced some of them because you didn't like the ones that we had.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that. See? My thing is this. I do not have a sense of style. I do not have a sense of decoration. I'm not a interior design person. I'm a function person. So if the couch feels good, I really don't care. It could be pink. If it's nice to sit on and my back doesn't hurt, I'm good with it.
Yeah. I think it's important to realize that you have the joy of getting to live with a person that you love.
Yeah.
And that is the most important thing. This is what we keep at the forefront of our minds. We're moving in together. This is really exciting and I love you. I can't wait to build our life together. I don't want to get lost in the weeds of fighting about whose dining room table is better.
Yeah.
Maybe let's each have 2 vetoes.
Yeah.
You know, of these are my 2 things that I cannot get rid of.
Yeah.
And you don't get to ask me why.
Yeah.
But
practically, I think that's a really good way to do it.
Right? To have like 1 or 2 vetoes.
But I do also think like, and this is my view of relationships, specifically marriage, because it's more of a commitment. But I think there's always going to be one person that's going to sacrifice a little bit more than the other.
And I think that goes in waves through time.
You're right. It's not always like I'm going to be the one that sacrifices or you're going to be the one that sacrifices. But I really think for marriage to work, one person is going to be sacrificing something. Like, and I don't think that's bad.
Right.
I think that's beautiful. That's like I'm going to sacrifice something that I want to bring you up because you are the person that I love, right? And it changes, like you said.
Yeah.
But it's like dating or whatever is different.
Yeah.
But in a marriage, I think that's really important.
Yeah, and it's like if you can tell that this chair is really important to me,
right?
You might hate it.
Right.
But if I really love and like I'm getting upset about it and like I really want to keep it, it's like, you know what?
It's a
chair. let's keep it.
Right. You know what? It's totally fine. Right.
Yeah.
I think it goes back and forth. You're right.
Yeah.
But I do think in any environment, in any marriage environment, it's like, listen, I don't love this. I'm not going to get my way on this. And that's fine. More than fine. That is an act of love for me to put you first. I think that's incredibly important.
Yeah.
And I just, I don't think that's very valued. I think in our culture, it's like, you gotta get yours, even in a marriage relationship.
We're very individualistic as a
culture.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you gotta get yours. You gotta make sure that they're all, always looking out for yourself. I think obviously, yes, there are times to do that, but I think when our marriage works the best, it is because both of us are trying to sacrifice the most for the other person.
Yeah.
I really think that.
Yeah. I think that's really beautiful.
Moments when we've had strife, it's usually been me, but I have been incredibly selfish and not wanting to do the things that you want to do in our finances, in our house, in our whatever it is. It can be from serious to not serious. Those are the moments that we have strife. And the moments when things are really good is when both of us are like, you know what? You are first in this relationship. You are the person I put before myself. I think that's the way that it should be.
Yeah, I feel that way too. I do. But yeah, it's I think it's important to realize that stuff is just stuff at the end of the day.
Yeah. Easier said than done.
And I think it's
especially
okay
if it has sentimental value.
Yeah, or like you really love it.
Right. Like
maybe it's the first thing you ever bought for yourself.
Right.
With your first paycheck. That can be really meaningful.
That's incredibly valuable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, is the person more valuable?
Yeah. I also think it's okay to have too much stuff in your apartment for a little while you really tease out what you decide you want to keep.
That's a great point.
I think it's okay to cram in 2 dining room tables for a couple of weeks.
Because nothing makes you more willing to get rid of stuff than
feeling like you're drowning in stuff.
The walls are falling in on. Dude.
Like, I don't even care anymore. Just get rid of it.
When we lived in our first apartment in Atlanta, it wasn't a small apartment, but it was smaller than where we had lived before.
Yeah.
And we had a hard time kind of getting rid of some stuff. And
we weren't sure what we were going to want to keep because it was a long distance move.
Right. So we were like, let's get into the new space.
And then we can
say,
stuff.
Let's sell, let's donate, and I was like, get rid of everything, which is why we are in a partnership because you were like, well, we don't need to get rid of everything.
If we get rid of everything, we're going to have to spend money on buying new stuff. So let's.
But I was like, because the couch couldn't get in the door.
Yes.
And I was like,
Throw it in the dumpster.
Sell the couch. I don't care. We don't need a couch. And you were like,
we need a couch.
We need the couch. I was like, dude, just get rid of it.
It will sit on the floor. It's like, we're not going to sit on the floor.
Right. So
you have a bad back. We're not going to just sit on the floor.
That's why the partnership is important there. But I was like, dude, we don't need the couch. Send it.
We need the couch.
And we still have the couch.
We do.
But it was hard to get in this place too.
No, those guys were amazing. They had
I thought
no
they had
trouble.
a problem at the stairs.
No, that was the bed frame.
Oh, the bed frame. Right. Anyway. Hire movers too. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh yeah.
Listen.
That is a splurge worth taking.
Both of us don't like to spend money, but I will.
I will always.
Till the end of my days on this earth, advise and pay for movers.
Good movers.
Right.
Not your neighbors to move you.
They save so much in the way of stress, in the way of just mental clarity.
Moving is bad enough.
Moving is top 5 worst things on this earth.
Yeah. War, famine, moving.
Yeah.
I really feel that way.
I said those words and then I was like, well, there's a lot of bad stuff on this.
In the day-to-day things
let's
that
say
we are
first world problems.
Yeah.
Definitely top 5.
In like your average life experiences, moving is pretty up there.
Right. Goes back and forth between moving and traffic for me.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to sweat to death if we keep doing this.
All right.
As we speak, the rage is bubbling up inside of me.
It's okay. It's okay to be angry.
I'm going to be fine.
It's okay to be upset.
This is like 3 times in like a year that our air conditioning gets broken.
Yep.
I just don't get it.
We're going to have someone come fix it.
Hopefully.
For good this time.
Hopefully
right?
for good this time. But if not, then they'll just come back and fix it again.
We're going to get to know every AC guy in the city of Atlanta.
Is this the 22nd episode we've done? Or 23rd?
22nd, I think.
Man. Every time we do one of these, I'm like, this is the last one we're doing.
No, it's not.
Every time we finish an episode, I'm like, I'm not doing this again.
But we have so much
and then
fun.
we do it again every single time. So who knows?
So we'll see you next week.
Maybe this is the last one, or most likely we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Nope. I got it. Like and subscribe. Oh, that was bad. I should have just sneezed. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. We love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.